Hiya folks, JD here, and today we got this. This is the JJRC Cygnus. I'm very excited to be looking at this. So, let's open her up and have a little look and see what we've got inside. So, flip the box over. Ooh, look at that. This looks very nice. Right, let's open this up. Okay, so inside, what have we got? We've got the quadcopter and we've got the transmitter. So let's take everything out. So first of all, there's the quadcopter. Underneath the quadcopter we have got four propeller guards. We've got a little accessory bag that must have been underneath this plastic box. We've also got the transmitter and a little camera. Right, so let me shift everything else out of the way that I don't want to look at for the second, so we can just purely look at this quadcopter. Well, look at that. Wow. That looks really quite nice. Very futuristic looking. Obviously folding propeller arms there. On the underside we've got a couple of switches. So if you were to just pull a switch, then you can extend the arm and also retract the arm as well. But you can just pull them out if you are to extend them. And that is what the quadcopter looks like. Look at that. Look at the size of it. It's absolutely massive. So my handspan won't reach from one propeller to the other. Absolutely massive. On the underside, we have the on and off button, which is this little white button here. Push it, and then it turns on. So we've got green LEDs on the front, blue LEDs on the back. And wow, they're very bright. We've also got a little connector here. That's where the camera fits into, and here's where the camera slots into as well. This little button, if you push down, would just remove the camera, so you're not going to damage the camera when you take it. If you ever put this quadcopter in your bag and you take it from point A to point B. Now we've also got modular battery as well. Very, very nice. 7.4 volts, 600 milliamp hour. That's really quite nice as well. Obviously you've got the little charging brick at the back there, little charging port at the back for when you do want to charge it. And when you do put it back in, just make sure it's going in the right way, and then you just push it in and it clicks in like that. Quite easy, quite simple. Battery charge time is 180 hours to 230 hours. It is charging directly off USB. Look at that. Stunning. Really, really stunning. Right, okay, so we're going to keep it on keep on looking at this underside for a second. Let's attach this camera. So this is what the camera looks like. So you've got a little Wi-Fi antenna there, just so you can get the best range from the quadcopter when you are trying to record, so you can still relay FPV back down to your smartphone so you can see exactly what is going on. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is just flip this camera over so the lens is pointed the same way as the front of the camera. I am then going to try and see if I can pick this up, show you where I'm putting the camera, and that the camera itself, you might see a bit of my hands, I do apologise, but the camera just fits in and then clips in. And then likewise, to remove the camera, you push down on that little black clip there and the camera just comes straight off. It's as easy as that. Now, with the camera already attached, all you would do then is just attach the cable. Now I'm doing it with the camera attached just because the cable isn't long enough to have the camera detached and then to try and plug this cable in. So you do have to attach the camera first, then the cable. So there we are, that's all in, that's all nice. Now this camera is not motorized. It does have a few different angles that you can just move just by pushing the camera ever so slightly, like that. So we're going to keep it on all the way forward. I might move it when we come to look at the flight test in the next couple of days, but for the minute I'm going to keep it pointing straight forward. Now there is something that seems to be missing here. It does seem that we need to have some landing sprigs in order for this quadcopter to look right and not to damage the camera. So what I'm going to do with that, this is a nice little segue, just to have a little look at this accessory bag. So as you can see, we've got two extra propellers here. All the propellers are yellow, and we've only got two inside this bag. We also have a couple of extra screws, and we have a USB charger as well. So what I'm going to do, laying underneath the charger, we have two landing sprigs. So what I'm going to do is just put those to one side, I'm going to just tie that bag back up and put that to one side. Now, let's look at these landing sprigs. Plastic, quite sturdy in construction. Little bit of rubber on the underside here, just so that when it does come down, it doesn't necessarily score the plastic, but you will hit these rubber pads. To be honest with you, I wouldn't expect these pads to be there after the second or third flight, but at least we know they are there. So with that, we've got 2 slots on the quadcopter here. So let me just bring this up to you a little bit closer. So you've got 2 slots, one here and one there. And that is where these landing sprigs fit in. Now this is going to be quite a tight fit. So what I'm going to do is pull it round and then really push in. And then I'm going to do the same with the other side. Now there's no screws to make sure that these go in tighter. Excuse the hands, folks, ever so sorry. But there we go. So that is what she looks like. Look at that. God, that's quite a beast of a quadcopter that is. Really, really nice. So when we stand her up, obviously you're not going to see the best part of this, but other than when we stand her up and we tip her back a little bit, you can see there's a nice little gap between the camera and the floor there. So the camera, just by looking at it, has a good 2.5 inches of space there. Right, I'm really taken with this. We've also got an antenna on the top as well, just to mention, so that should provide us some good range. I would at least thought 100 meters from the transmitter. So with that being said, let's have a little look at this transmitter. So what I'm going to try and do, because my table here is really small, I'm just going to use these little clips underside and put the back arms in first. And then when the back arms are both in, then I'm going to fold down the front arms as well. There we go. The front and the back quadcopter arms, propeller arms, folded in. Landing sprigs on, camera on. All in all, very, very happy with that. Move that to one side. Now let's have a little look at this transmitter. Now this transmitter is quite special. One, it comes with a nice little screen to the top that shows you what all the buttons done. One problem, it's in Chinese. I don't speak Chinese, but there is a full list in the manual that also comes with it to show you exactly what each of these buttons do. Now I'll relay those very quickly. We first have a little look at this side. We've got automatic takeoff, automatic landing. We've got trim, left and right buttons here as well. Then we've got a little LED in the middle there, just a light just to let you know what's going on. Then we've got this side here, which we've got forward and back, left and right fine tuning. So not only do we have trim, we also have fine tuning on here as well. And this great big center button in the middle here, this is the power. So push it on for power, push it off to turn off the transmitter as well. We've got our standard analog sticks as well, just for controlling the quadcopter. As you would note, we have altitude hold with this guy. We also have 2 shoulder buttons as well. So these shoulder buttons, they've actually got 4 buttons inside these 2 buttons here. 4 contacts rather, making up 4 buttons. So to move to work from this side, first we've got speed up, then we've got headless mode, we've also got return to home and flips and rolls. You know that I said this was an FPV relay quadcopter, so meaning that you have to put your smartphone on it. So where would you put your smartphone? Well, telescopic. Look at that. And it actually is wide enough for a 7-inch tablet. So you can put a 7-inch tablet in there, or you could bring it in a little bit and you can put your phone inside there as well. But for the batteries, this is a little bit more complex. There are 2 screws here, left and right. Once you undo those screws, these 2 front panels pull off and the batteries sit inside here. I do believe it is 4 AA batteries. Let's open her up and have a little look. So let's take off these screws. Sorry about the hands, folks. 1 screw first, and then we've got another screw over here as well. Let's take that one off. So once we've done both of those, we should then just be able to pull these down. 1, and pull those down. 2, and yes, there are 4 AA batteries, 2 in the left, 2 in the right, that need to be in there. This charger, just to let you know, does not allow USB charging, so the batteries that you use do have to be shop bought or pre-charged. So 2 little screws, just doing these back up. I don't want to lose them and then to have the bottom of the controller fall out mid-flight. So there we are, that is the transmitter. So all in all, we've looked at the transmitter, we've looked at the accessory bag, and we've looked at the quadcopter as well. Now, obviously you did hear me say that this does come with 4 propeller guards. Put them on if you want to put them on. I think they are more hassle than they're worth it, to be honest with you. And I think they can also detract from a flight, so I'm not going to be putting these on. So, all in all, this is what we've got. So inside this box, the JJRC Cygnus, you get the quadcopter with the camera and the landing sprigs, as well as the transmitter and a bag of accessories including 2 propellers, a bag of screws for the propellers, a USB charger, and also you get the battery inside the quadcopter as well, which comes out as a modular design. So there we are, folks. Please join me in the next couple of days when we're going to be taking this guy out and putting it through his paces. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.